Howdy y'all, Stock Warden here, back with another video. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I'll tell you a little bit of something I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for each and every one of you for coming to this channel and clicking play and being able to show me that making these videos and making this content and showing all of these new different stocks and buildings into the community of everybody that watches. I am thankful for all of you watching, and it is something that I really appreciate because I do love making these videos, and I do love that a lot of y'all appreciate them as well. So we're going to kick off the first video with ASTS Space Mobile, and they have a lot of great things happening with the company, but their stock is not showing a whole lot of reverberance off of how well the company is doing. So because right off the bat, we have two very different price targets where you have Associate Bank is upgrading the AST Space Mobile to a perform on an underperform for a 45.6 price per share price target. So they're still believing that they're going to possibly underperform and go down lower than where they're at now. They still believe that there is a bit of a bullish trend, a bearish trend in this stock. Now, on the other side of this, we have a lot larger margin on this stock where you have Clear Street, where they are maintaining a buy on AST Space Mobile, and they have raised their price target up to $87 a share. So if you bring up from the lowest price target at that $45.60 a share, then you're going to be looking relatively into these markers right in here. So if you bridge over from here and you want to branch out to where you're going to start roughly in this area and come straight across to this 45.60 area, then that is going to be a really low price point and also an even lower resistance line to bounce off of whenever their current resistance line is bounced off of this $50.30, and they've had a lot of upper and lower candles bouncing between $50 and $51 a share. So, and they've rebounded off of that pretty well here lately. So that's something that was a good jump up instead of a pullback for this stock over the course of the past month that we've seen a pretty harsh drawback. But that's also to be said kind of across the entire stock market, as a lot of different talks and news and governmental things have been coming across. So then if we come back over and we bridge up to the $87 a share mark, we're going to get to 87 flat, and we're going to bring it across. So right here on the $87 a share, then you'll see that we only had just two areas of that level. So we do have a lot of room to go and a lot of room to grow, but as you can see in the previous, back in October, we were able to go a large way up just within a very short week. So that's something that is still possible for AST Mobile, especially with some of the stuff that's happened. So let's get right into it. One of the great things that they have shown is that they announced on just this past Tuesday the addition of two new manufacturing sites in Texas and Florida, expanding its operations. So this expansion is going to highlight their ongoing dedication to U.S. space innovation and job creation. So in Texas, the company's main manufacturing base now hosts 5 facilities, including a new Midland site where the Bluebird satellites are built from raw materials to finished spacecraft, backed by 3,800 U.S. patents and pending claims. So then, the company also maintains a facility in Maryland and has added a new site in Homestead, Florida, boosting production capacity and extending its footprint into another business-friendly state. AST Space Mobile's next generation Bluebird satellite is incorporating cutting-edge cellular broadband technology for low Earth orbit, including the largest phase array antennas ever built at 2,400 square feet, with custom power systems and the proprietary AST 5000 ASIC. So these upgrades are going to deliver up to 10 times the bandwidth of current Bluebird satellites, supporting peak data speeds of up to 120 megabytes per second for voice, broadband, and video. So those are going to be something absolutely extraordinary. And another great thing about, even though this is a satellite company, they are not looking at starting a singular satellite and just recreating them as they go. They're making one satellite, and then as soon as they go to the next one, they are still improving and building on the same platform and vertically integrating that system to make each and every satellite better than the next. So then eventually, all the satellites that were originally built can be obsolete, and it will just forever make the technology better and better. So that's going to be something great. Also, last week also disclosed that its U.S. licensed Bluebird 6 satellite is set to launch on December 15th from the Satish, excuse me for trying to pronounce this, Dhawan Space Center in India. It's DHAWAN. Now, I have not found out if this is going to be televised or if they're going to have some kind of link set up on their website to be able to watch the launch. I am still trying to figure that out, and when I do, I will post the link into and pin the top comment for y'all to be able to look into that and watch the satellite rocket up, so you can see just how well it either goes up or possibly be able to kind of predict what the stock's going to do next if there is some type of critical failure. So with the management commentary that they have set for actually the past month on this, the founder, chairman, and CEO, Abel Avilian, says that as we accelerate production of our next generation Bluebird satellites, the expansion is allowing us to increase capacity, strengthen our supply chain, and bring even more high technology manufacturing work back into the United States. So this is about building more satellites faster and doing it right here at home so we can deliver on our mission to close the connectivity gaps and deliver cellular broadband where it is needed the most. So with all that being said, they are still pushing to be able to deliver a better product each and every time, and also to be able to make it more widely known and available to the rest of the world. So because as it stands right now, the company is partnered with AT&T, Verizon Communications, the American Tower Corporation, and Alphabet Incorporated Google. So they're going to see about all of those companies coming together and helping out with AST Space Mobile to deploy this global network to deliver a direct cellular broadband to all smartphones. So the only thing that this company has, more or less as a competitor, is Elon Musk's Starlink. And the Starlink is mainly just set up for internet and data broadband. It's not 100% set up for cell phone use or for cellular phone calls. So that is also something that is kind of an edge on AST Space Mobile that would kind of put Space Mobile into a greater chain to be able to build higher up on. Now, one of the issues with this stock right now is that they did have some tech concerns, and they did make quite a few different misses with some narrow losses even though their revenues have risen over the Q3 of 2025. So they ended up having a loss of 0.22, which was a little bit harder of a loss than what they originally had expected. So they did end up revenuing for the quarter at 14.7 million, which is a lot higher from the 1.1 million that they did earn just last year at the same time. So the shares on that day were only trading about 2% lower, which really wasn't that harsh of a decline, but that was back on November 11th. So since then, we have definitely still seen a pretty harsh pullback. So hopefully in this time, even though their revenues have been lower, their revenue is higher and the stock has been trading lower, their finances are also going to be looking a little bit different than everything else, because even though they're creating the satellites, they're putting down a lot of money to be able to bring in this Florida and this Texas site to build these satellites to completion. And they've also hired over 1,800 new staff to be able to employ those two sites and to build those satellites from raw earth metals directly from the US. So there's a lot of things happening with this company, especially into some of the financials where they're having to spend a whole lot right now. So they're going to show a little bit of a loss on their books from their raises. But all in all, where they're going and the direction that they're heading, vertically integrating all of their systems and creating more areas of opportunity to be able to build and grow this company even furthermore, is something that honestly just can't be ignored. So whether this stock goes up a little bit, or if the stock does underperform and it goes down into that $45 a share range, then honestly, there's really no bad time to start a good position in this stock. So, because this company is backed by so many great companies and it is being pushed hardcore by your Verizon and your AT&T and your Google, where really and truly it would be absolutely asinine to believe that this stock would end up crashing. So, with all that being said, I know I'm going to end up trying to get a little bit into this stock to kind of boost my portfolio a little bit. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all were able to make a little bit better decision on kind of where this stock's going and why the trend that it's kind of been set on, and hopefully where the trend's going to continue here in the short. So for now, this is the Stock Warden riding off. So y'all come back now, you hear?